It feels weird not to like see.
I know. I'm not standing next to you. It's very strange.
I know. You're not. I'm not standing next to you. I'm not. We're like. I don't even know where we are. Like. What's going on?
I know where we are.
Do you know where we are?
Mm-hmm.
Well. Oh, the broadcast is now live. There we go. Yay! We're rambling.
No, I'm not rambling. I'm telling you where we are. We're
yes.
at
Hi, Rodney.
We're inside Spaceship Earth.
Oh, okay. We're inside Spaceship Earth. That's great.
Yes.
But you know what it is? What we're doing inside Spaceship Earth is, I think we should do our normal intro, which is, hi, everyone. Welcome to Early Night Live, the #1 theme park live stream in the world. I'm Kat.
I'm Ava.
This is going to really mess with my dyslexia of directions. Anyway, so Ava, normal tradition. What are we doing inside Space Mountain?
First of all, I said Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth, whatever.
Well, okay. now that you mentioned it, we are going to ride Space Mountain inside Spaceship Earth. But while we do that, we're going to have some very special guests join us.
Ooh, who's our first special guest?
Our first special guest?
Yeah.
Is arguably one of my favorite people. And not as much as you, of course.
Okay.
But we've had her on the show before, and she's absolutely lovely and wonderful, and we love chatting with her. And I have some new questions to ask her, and I know you do too. And hopefully people in the chat do. So very excited to bring her on. But it is the voice of the Disney princess Jasmine, Linda Larkin.
Yes, Linda.
Here somewhere. She'll appear eventually. There she is.
Hi, girl. Hey. How are you?
I feel like it's so high definition, and I feel like Kat and I look
bad.
We're not in 4K.
Okay, I should not be in 4K, so I apologize to all your viewers. Just working with what I've got.
Which is high quality.
Thank you.
Yes. But yeah, we're so excited to have you on here to have people ask you questions. That way we can raise money for Give Kids the World. Do you want to talk about Give Kids a little bit to people who may not know what Give Kids the World is, or just talk about how much you love them or anything?
Well, I have a very special spot for Give Kids the World. It's an organization, a wish-granting organization in Orlando, and they bring children and families who are struggling with some issues, health issues maybe, and they bring them for a week where they don't have to think about any of that, and they get to just celebrate and be together and create beautiful memories and celebrate Halloween and Christmas and go to the parks. And it's just a wonderful organization and a really great place to be. And I've enjoyed all my visits there, and I think it's really special, and I'm so happy to support them always.
Yeah, they're a wonderful organization, and here at Attractions, we love getting to work with them whenever we get a chance to. So doing stuff like this is amazing.
We have a fun, fancy scrolling thing on the bottom.
Oh, we do?
That you can donate to Give Kids the World through the chat, or you can go to their website and donate.
Yes.
And everything is going to go to the kids. So
yes. It's a great cause. Mm-hmm. But Linda, you decided to work your Disney legend princess magic and to bring some surprises to us. So do you want to tell us what our surprise is?
I have a wonderful surprise for everyone. The great Jonathan Freeman, voice of Jafar, is here tonight live with us.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to bring him on.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hello. Jonathan.
Hi.
Hello. Nice to see you all.
Dear friend, and just one of my favorite actors. And I'm so happy you're here.
We are also very happy that you are here.
I know. I'm still
slightly nervous just at the fact that you are here.
I know. I feel like we're not worthy. Like,
this man was on Broadway.
I know, right?
When a princess invites you somewhere to do something, you always should say yes.
I mean, true. Linda is always right. We established that before.
Always listen to anything that Linda says.
Yes, always.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What's going on tonight?
We're gonna do. we're gonna do a fun Q&A with you guys. I think Ava has a question to start you guys off with. Then I was gonna ask a question, and then let the chat go loose and ask you guys all the questions.
You and I, Kat, will get the ball rolling. Ask one or two, and then it's gonna go over to the chat, and then you guys can have fun answering all of their questions,
such as math questions. Lots of math.
Yes, there will be science questions. Yes. There will be math questions.
Final season.
Okay.
You've been practicing your long division. There will be some of
Okay.
All right. So I'll go ahead with the first question. And my question is, what do you think is the most important part about playing a Disney princess or a villain? I mean, I've never done it, but
well, I would say the most important thing is to bring your authentic self to the character, because that's what people connect to, is your authenticity.
We've been doing this too long together. That's exactly what I was going to say. Authenticity is the most important thing. And especially with villains, you know, I think, well, especially with every character, I didn't really mean that to exclude anybody, present company. I think that because villains are so extreme, usually they're such huge, extreme, weird characters sometimes. You know, the thing is, the more extreme they are, the more authentic I think you have to be. You have to really give them foundation if you want them to be believable, if you want them to be scary, if you want the audience to understand what their story is and what they're telling and why they're motivated to do all these horrible things that we love watching them do. I think authenticity. I think Linda hit the nail on the head. I almost said hit the nose on the head.
Yeah, that makes. I mean, it's like even if there are cartoons, you don't want them to be cartoonish. You want them to be brought to life in the same way, and so that makes a lot of sense. And that's an amazing answer to me, because I would have never thought of that.
Linda, I didn't really approach it any differently than any other acting job. Did you?
No, not at all. It never occurred to me that we were doing anything different because it was animation, or because we were being recorded rather than filmed or on stage. I approached it the same way. The only thing, there were some technical differences. So, you know, sometimes we would have to speak a little, like change our dictation slightly, or maybe consider the microphone when you say a word that starts with a P, for example, because you have to back off of it a little bit. So there were some technical things that we had to consider, but acting wise, no different.
The same. Although, you know, we were actually filmed. They filmed or videotape, whatever they did, everything we did. So somewhere, would you love to see those tapes?
I would like to see those.
Yes. So we were doing something a few years ago. It was, I don't remember what year it was, maybe 2016, around that time. And they showed a clip from the studio from 1991 that I had never seen ever. And it had been like 25 years. And it was so weird to watch myself 25 years ago talking about this character, talking about my experience in real time, not my memory of it, but what was happening in the moment. I was shocked. I was a little bit speechless. I was like, I cannot believe what I'm seeing right now. And, you know, when I grew up, we didn't have a camera in our hands. So a lot of my youth is not on film. I don't go back and watch it, you know, so to see something from when I was younger was strange. It was really strange.
Oh yeah.
I mean, probably feels surreal, like kind of like an out of body like experience type thing, like in a way.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and it was live with 1,000 attendees at D23. We were all seeing it for the first time together.
Yeah.
Nothing like a little intimate moment with friends.
Well, it's strange to see like no gray hair, no glasses.
No,
nothing at all.
I love gray hair. No.
Yeah, no.
But
I mean, I have gray hair.
I wanted to say, Linda, that in a way, because of the taping or the filming, whatever it was, I don't even know what it was, but because of that, it's one of the things that I think also helps to keep the characters authentic. Because
in what way?
They captured pieces of us, idiosyncrasies, mannerisms, our breath patterns, all of that stuff. So in a way, it is that just that technical aspect to it, I think also help make the characters more authentic, very real, even though they were completely fabricated in every way.
That's a really good point. I didn't think about that, but how that is merged, like all these creative contributions are merged together and become this one character, each individual character. And what we're bringing to it is very personal, because we're bringing, you know, our creation, our hearts, our voices. You know, it's interesting. So interesting.
I think like a good example, I mean, that's not Aladdin, that's not us or our movie, is I always think that there's no way that you could look at Beauty and the Beast and not know that Mrs. Potts is Angela Lansbury, because they so captured her personality, her essence, her lovely mannerisms, and they, you know, there's just no way, you know. But that doesn't mean that every time you look at a teapot, you think of Angela Lansbury either. because they captured her so beautifully for this animated teapot, you only have to hear her speak, you know, say 2 lines, you know it's Angela Lansbury.
Oh yeah.
Right.
That is fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Kat, do you have, because I see we're getting questions in the chat, so I was.
Oh yeah.
Do you have anything that you wanted to ask before we open it up?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I would love to hog like our time.
I know you
have people who want to talk to you
for like a month now.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I could just keep talking.
She's totally going off the cuff. It's not like she's written 50 of them down.
No, I don't over prepare for anything.
No.
No, we're going to see how well you think I would memorize these. No, I didn't. So we're going to see if my dyslexia kicks in, ladies and gentlemen.
We're not actors. We don't know how to memorize a script. So
no, we don't. So my question to you guys is, you know, you brought life into these characters and everything, and you know, so many people around the world have not only connected to your characters, but also to like you guys outside of the characters, like as like personal beings. So like, well, human beings, whatever you wish to say. But like, how has that like impacted you guys, like just in your personal lives and just like in general? And like, what does it mean to you guys to have that? I stumped them.
You want me to go first? I can answer this in so many ways, but one way is that my world has become so big because of this one role. I've met so many people, so many different ages from different places around the world who all have one thing in common: this movie, this character, this company. And it really has expanded my life and my world in unexpected ways, in ways that have brought me so much joy and connection. And that's been, I think, the biggest surprise for me. I don't think you know in that moment when you begin something how it's going to change your life, in how many ways and for how long.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you could know that. Howard Green said, "This is going to change your life in more ways than you could possibly imagine." And he was right.
Yeah.
It's changed my life in more ways than I could have. For one thing, I've become very connected to the autism community because of this movie and because of this character. And I think we do, one of the sort of the great pluses is we get to meet people from all over the world and all different kinds of people. It's mind expanding in a way. It expands your world without, I mean, we could sit here and, you know, when we do these during COVID, the pandemic during COVID, we were doing these online, what were they? It was like, because we couldn't go to conventions and stuff, we did them on, and so you were talking face to face on your computer with people from all over the world who you'd never have any way of meeting them otherwise, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that was cool too, because some of the people that we got to speak to, I had met in person at conventions, and now I was speaking to them from their home.
Yeah.
So they were showing me some of the things that, you know, they had collected, some of the memorabilia from other events, and they were in their own homes, and I was in my own home. So it was this even additionally personal experience, even though we were disconnected because we were on our own computers and not in person. We were also connected in a new way.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. It definitely like adds that like kind of like welcoming each other into each other's homes type thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
where it definitely like there's still like that like boundary because like you're on the computer and everything, but then it like opens up like to like I think an even more personal level to like where you're not really surrounded by all these other people. Like you're in the comfort of your home, they're in the comfort of their home, and like you kind of have that guard down where you don't have like that shield up that like you have, I think, when you're out in public type thing.
Right. And you could focus more on the person too, because there aren't all these other things going on around you.
Yeah.
You know, at the fan events, it's really
Chaos.
exciting, but there's a lot going on, right? So So that's been interesting.
Because like, you know, now I can be like, hey, look, this is my kitchen. This is where I make bagels like every morning. It's like, you can't do that if you're
Right.
convention.
Right.
I mean, you could. It'd
You could be very strange. But
But should we take some questions from the chat and stop hogging our special guest today?
yeah.
Okay.
All right. All right. Traveling Beagle artist. I almost read that as Bagel. Ava, that's your fault.
You're welcome.
Linda graced Jasmine graced the screen. Well, you did too, Linda. In horror films, Aladdin 1 and 3, and Wreck-It Ralph, and much more. What has been the most memorable / funny blooper even moment you have experienced while bringing her to life?
Oh my gosh, most memorable, funny blooper moment. I mean, it would have to be some of the outtakes with Robin Williams. I would say that was the most memorable and funny, when Scott and I would be trying to laugh silently and not ruin the take because he was saying things that may or may not end up in the movie, but definitely were not in the script. So they were surprising, hysterical, and we couldn't make noise because we were all in the same room together. Our mics would have picked each other up. So that would have been the funniest stuff. I think I also had many fun outtake moments with Gilbert Gottfried, who I love to take a moment to honor today. This is the first opportunity that we've had to talk about him together in a podcast. So, so we had a lot of fun recording. Gilbert and I recorded much of the television series alone together in New York. So I had a lot of hours in the studio that were just me and Gilbert, and we would record one at a time in the studio, but at the same studio, you know, waiting for each other to finish. And it was fun and unpredictable, and those were really great times. They were really great.
And to kind of piggyback off of that, Jonathan, I assume maybe that you got a chance to also work with Robin Williams?
Very little. I can't even remember if there was like maybe 2 sessions. I can remember one for sure, because we had a couple of scenes together. Most of the time though, I worked a little bit with Linda and a little bit with Scott, maybe a little bit more with Scott, I don't know, and mostly with Gilbert. We were trapped in a studio together. So I could pretty much say that it was a very entertaining experience. We had an awful lot of fun, and Gilbert was the secret weapon that we brought to a documentary called Life Animated, based on a book about this autistic kid named Owen, on a train ride out to the Cape to go to this school, like Gilbert and I had a great conversation that day in which we both admitted to each other that we never could have imagined in a million years, all the things that had happened to us, as we were just saying before, because of Aladdin. We never could have imagined that we'd be involved in a documentary about autism and going out to the Cape to a school, a special school to do this project. And, because nobody sets out to make a flop. Everybody wants to do the best, no matter what happens. Even the flops are made every day, but nobody wants to make a flop. Let's say that. So, for us, it was a job when we got the roles. We knew it was a very good job. We knew that, because of Howard Ashman and Alan Menken and John Musker and Ron Clemens and Robin Williams, we knew that it had a chance to be something really special. I didn't know Linda. I didn't know Scott. There were a lot of people I worked with that I did not know. And I didn't know Gilbert, but that was really a roller coaster ride. We had a great time. So anyway, we both admitted to each other that we never in a million years could have thought what would happen to us because of this film. Because it was a good job. We're just going to go to work and, I don't think anybody ever had a guaranteed number of days. You'd go and they need you again, you'd go again. Those were the days there was no phone patching. We weren't in studios on the East and West Coast. We had to get on a plane, go to LA, to the corner of Dopey Drive and Goofy Lane to Studio B, and record our stuff. We did a little bit in New York. I did a little bit in New York with Gilbert toward the end when they were fixing some things maybe, but yeah.
I did all of the movie in Los Angeles. The only stuff I did in New York was the cartoon series. And I did like half of that in Los Angeles and half of it in New York. But all the movie I did in Los Angeles. Yeah.
I did most of it in LA, but because Gilbert was also on the East Coast, I think toward the end we did a few things together, but not much. We were mostly out there because everybody was out there. I mean, the producers, directors, etc. were out there. And that was a great education too, because I made a pest of myself probably in the animation studio. I'm an animation freak. I just love animators. And so I would go and visit quite regularly.
It sounds like an absolutely amazing experience for everyone involved. And time for me to rethink my career path. Maybe I'll go into voice acting.
There you go. I recommend it.
I would love to.
If I could, I would, but.
Right. Kelly and Twiggy, I know these people. Do you think
Kelly and Twiggy.
Do you think it's easier to act in animation as opposed to acting opposite other actors?
Well, so that's a good question. We were talking about that before, how we approached it really like every other acting project that we had, but we also had a unique opportunity to work with each other. So that was something that I think prior to Beauty and the Beast, they hadn't done it. And Beauty and the Beast, that cast sort of broke that tradition and worked together. And so it was automatic for us we recorded all of our stuff solo, but we also recorded all of our stuff opposite the actors that we were in the scenes with. So that's why Jonathan and I got to work together and why I got to work with Robin.
Yeah.
I think that the only difference, really the difference I think is you could show up in your pajamas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't have to put on a costume. You didn't have to get made up. You didn't, so that part was nice to be able to be comfortable and be creating, well, I'm speaking for myself, but creating this bizarre character, but not having to worry about all that. That wasn't my job, Yeah. I was thinking about it and I was looking at the great drawings that they show you before you would work on a scene, but that was very freeing. I felt that was a very nice feeling. I felt like I could do it forever. I felt like, if I could just keep doing this, it'd be great. Putting on big heavy costumes and putting on a lot of makeup and wigs and getting things glued on your face. And I mean, who needs it really? I mean, it's it.
You would know that, Ava.
I've had many prosthetics glued on my face, and I know that they sometimes can be more of a hassle than a
not fun.
You just reminded me of something, Jonathan.
That's the only difference that I can think of is that you could. I think I actually may have worn my pajamas one day to the studio because there was some mix up and they needed me right away or something. So I just got in the car and went to the studio.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a dream.
Next early night, I'm just gonna come in my pajamas. I don't.
You can.
That's
home. Why not?
At Universal or at Disney?
Yeah. It's gonna be beneficial to my performance. Yeah.
Yeah.
You reminded me of something that I hadn't thought about in a really long time, but in the 90s, all I ever wore were like crop tops and Levi's or baby doll dresses and combat boots. That was like my wardrobe.
That's basically how I dress now. So yeah, I feel that. I get that.
It circles around. It comes back around. So I never wore the Levi's. I never wore the jeans to my recording sessions. I always wore like the baby doll dress and the combat boots. It wasn't like a Jasmine costume, but it made me feel more in the world of the princess than my two-piece outfit, ironically, which was more in the world of the princess. But I also had a sense I was going to work and that, there were people there that, were my bosses. So I would be like conscious, even though I knew I wasn't going to be on camera, I was conscious of the fact that I was going to be on the Disney lot and, I might see Michael Eisner that day, bump into him or something. Yeah.
All right. We got another question. Ava, you read. I'm tired of reading. My dyslexia will not let me read anymore.
I got you. This is from Rodney. And he said, okay, we know Aladdin is great, which is correct. But what other Disney animated or live action movie tugs at your heartstrings?
Well,
Aladdin too.
I want it. And three. Well, speaking of heartstrings, the movie that Jonathan referenced before, Life Animated, if you haven't seen it, it pulls at your heartstrings. That movie is incredible. And I believe it was nominated for or won an Oscar. It was nominated for an Oscar. Did it win? Yeah, it was. I mean, it was.
We should have, but it didn't.
Okay. Well, it was truly a beautiful documentary. So that one, when Jonathan was talking about it before, I just remember how much I connected to that story, and it's really beautiful. Animated films, Beauty and the Beast, I love that movie so much. And it came out right before our movie, and I was just like, oh my gosh, we're in the same world as Beauty and the Beast. Like, if that's what we're making, I'm so excited. So it was really just an incredible movie, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're all part of something really, really special right now, being part of that renaissance of Disney animation.
Yeah, that was exciting, wasn't it? Knowing that we were part of this 3-picture deal that Howard and Alan had that was, I think that a lot of Disney animated movies, frankly, I mean, Pollyanna, tugs at my heartstrings sometimes when I've seen it not that long ago anyway, maybe 15 years ago or something. And I remember thinking, why am I getting choked up? Because I think Disney does that really well. The fantasy elements are always terrific, of course, but they know how to sort of play that human element that gets to you. And sometimes it's because of the music. Underscoring is very powerful, and sometimes underscoring can just do it for me. Little Mermaid Beauty and the Beast. I mean, that's
Yeah.
Howard and Alan. They always used great orchestrators, and so
It's true. Music can really just take you somewhere so fast.
Yeah, the
I'd
music
probably be hard pressed.
always gets me.
It's like things like Silly Symphony and those kind of animated things. I would be hard pressed to think of one animated movie that didn't pull at my heart. Dumbo is very moving.
I know.
There's great moments in that movie. I mean, it's they go from the ridiculous to the sublime. So from the ridiculous moments, and then you're on the verge of or on having tears during. Bambi is pretty arresting too. Most people don't know that Bambi, by the way, it's based on a novel.
Did not know that.
I did not know that either.
Most people don't know that. It's just Disney manufactured. So it's a really good novel by Felix Salten, and there are no human characters in it. And in fact, there's one scene in which animal characters. It's two leaves at the end of it. At the end of fall, and they're talking to each other because they're about to die. Two oak leaves.
Oh,
it's a great.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, I would say almost every Disney movie, frankly, that was supposed to be a trick question.
So we're already at that half an hour point, but if you guys have a little extra time to answer one or two more questions, if that's okay with you, Linda, and you, Jonathan, it's up to you guys because you're our guest.
Linda, I always said I do what Linda tells me to do.
Yes,
Linda, you're the boss.
We're saying. This is the longest I've gone without sneezing. I've had a cold. I'm trying to speak above it so that no one has to hear it, but I have a few more minutes in me for sure. But if I start sneezing or sniffling, be forewarned.
We won't judge.
Definitely
Okay.
won't judge.
All right. Yeah. I wanted to double check with you. All right. Ava, go ahead.
Sure. Claude wants to know if you have enough clout to get Disney to finally put the animated series up on Disney Plus.
Right? I know.
Call them up and be like, hey, the people want it.
I mean, I can't wait for that to happen. I expect it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
I mean, people love that series. It was nominated for Emmys. It's fantastic. So, I expect it will be up there eventually.
Yeah.
But no, the short answer is we have no clout. So I don't know who makes those decisions, but it's not us.
I'm Jasmine. Put it on.
Maybe you should do this. Yeah. All right, let's see if Matt has any other questions for us. All right, Traveling Beagle R's again. I'll read because you did too. All right, we're going to see. Jonathan, this one is directed towards you. Live theater is live. When a blooper does occur, those on stage go on with the oh wow, I messed that up. Ava, take over.
When a blooper does occur, those on stage have to go on with the show. Have you been on stage during one of these unscripted moments? And what moment comes to mind first?
I apologize, I butchered that question. I'm sorry.
Ooh, an on-stage moment.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Somebody once pointed out, people in the audience, they're only seeing the performance, the production, for the first time, most people in the audience. And most people don't go, I mean, people who are get to be really big fans of a show will go back time and time again. But mostly, people go to see a Broadway show, for example, or a regional theater show even, or any kind of a show. And that's it. They go to see one performance. So if people say things that are wrong or incorrect, the audience never knows. It's always just the people on stage. And generally, there's nothing to be done about it. So you just keep rolling. And sometimes, if it's funny, you laugh, but you keep going. It's not, it's, I did a production of The Producers on Broadway for a year. And I had a great scene partner, wonderful actor named Brooks Ashmanskas. And
I know Brooks.
Yeah.
So great. Yeah.
For the show, we were partners in the show. And when we were in rehearsal, I said, now, Brooks, if I ever turn to you on stage and say, I don't know what to say, that means I don't know what to say. Character, but that means that that I've completely gone up. So one night we got out on stage, and I actually went up and I turned to Brooks and I said, I don't know what to say. And he looked right at me and said, well, you better think of something because it's your line. We laughed, the audience laughed, the show came, a halt for a minute. Somehow I remembered some bits. Things happen all the time. In fact, I would venture guess almost every night something goes wrong. And sometimes they're little things, sometimes they're bigger things, but things go wrong all the time. Pieces of scenery that are supposed to be there end up not being there. Somehow a chair doesn't get on stage and you're supposed to go sit down. So you just make a decision at that moment. I'm going to sit on the floor. Am I going to just stand here? Am I going to lean against that tree? Whatever.
Yeah, that's what makes live theater exciting, spontaneous, and right? Because it is live and things happen. Yeah. And those little things, even if you don't notice them as an audience, you do notice that the energy is electric.
Oh, yeah.
And it draws you even further in. One night I had an onstage event that was, I was doing a play at Actors Theater of Louisville. I hate Hamlet. And there's a scene where my character is in a nightgown and the fire alarm goes off in the theater. And the stage manager brings up the house lights, stops the show, and says, everyone exit the building. So I went from being in the middle of a play to being outside with the audience in my nightgown.
Oh, no.
Just standing there waiting to go back in and get back on stage. They had to reset the fire alarm, make sure there was not a real emergency. And we went back in and we finished the play.
I would have done it out on the street there.
Yeah, just keep going.
I know, right?
Out in the parking lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
The cars are now props.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't see any other questions coming up in the chat. I would like to remind everyone, please donate to Give Kids the World if you can. Once again, you can donate in the live chat or you can go to their website to donate. I do
donating, which is great.
It's not really a question. I guess it's kind of a question. It's more of a request for Jonathan. If he is up for it. My father would really like to hear you say his favorite line from the movie because it is the line where you say, the rest of the treasure is yours, but the lamp is mine. Because he used to walk around the house and unprompted, he would just say that to me for no reason other than he loves that line so much because Jafar is his favorite character and he would just feel it and then he would say it. So
well,
he's wondering if you
that
would
line
say
before.
Which one?
What did you say?
The rest of the treasure is yours, but the lamp is mine.
I can say it, but I probably won't say it the way Jafar says it in the movie because I'm not sure I can remember that line. I don't remember saying that line.
I think you should do a special video for Ava's dad, but knowing, do you know what I mean? Like once you,
I have to research it.
How you delivered it, right?
Who does he say it to?
He says it to Aladdin. I believe, if I remember correctly, it's like when he's sending Aladdin into the cave, and he's like, "Yeah, you can take anything else you want, but like the lamp, that's mine."
Oh yeah,
so
I remember that.
It's when he's sending Aladdin into the. Then is he's that other guy, that other character that I played.
When you're
right.
Man.
That's right. He's the older man thing.
I tell you, Aladdin was my favorite movie, and so I watched it all the time, and that was the line that my dad clung on to, and he would just go around saying it.
I can't remember.
That's so great. Honestly, but when you do special one-on-one for Ava's dad,
sure. But how do I research it? I have to watch the movie.
You could probably Google
YouTube
you could probably go on YouTube and Google the exact scene because there's bits and different scenes from movies and stuff all over YouTube.
All right.
Someone's already done it for you.
You know something? If you were really good at this, you would have you would put it up on the screen.
Yeah, that's true. I would pull it up right now if I was not technologically challenged.
Just kidding.
Yeah, this is why we do live streams. We can't edit
No.
To save our lives. Like we go on and we hope for the best. And then like how you said with live theater, people just watch us try.
You just keep going.
It's part of the excitement.
Exactly.
For sure.
But if there's no other questions in the chat, Matt, I'm going to give him a second.
I see one more.
You see one more?
I do see one more.
All right. If Matt wants to pull it up for us.
It's from Brian. Yeah. It was a question for the both of you. What did you think of the live action version of your characters?
That's so easy for me. Well, we saw it together. That was really exciting. Actually, Jonathan and I went to a special screening in New York, and we saw it together, and it was super fun. We had dinner afterwards, and we got to really like talk about what we missed from the animated film, which, you know, a lot of what you can do with animation, you really can't do in live action. But a lot of what they did with the live action film was new and exciting. And especially for Jasmine's character, she got a friend, for one. She got a solo, which was amazing. And she really, I think, had more agency than she was allowed in 1992. So that was very exciting. I loved her portrayal. I loved just, for me, the Jasmine stuff was fantastic. And I really enjoyed the movie. I really did enjoy the experience. And I enjoyed sitting there watching it with my own personal Jafar.
I had a good time. I enjoyed it. You know, I here's the thing. I'm not sure if people realize, you know, Aladdin, there are so many versions of Aladdin, you know, not just the Disney one, but, you know, there's even Olive Oil and Popeye did a version of Aladdin. And it's, you know, there's the last musical that Cole Porter, great American musical theater writer, wrote. The last musical that he wrote was a version of Aladdin, and it was written for television. So I don't know. There's like, you know, it's a story that's going to be, you know, long after we're gone. There's going to be other Jafars and other Jasmines, and it's going to be done over and over and over again. Why? Because the story is great. And, you know, when it comes down to it, you know, good storytelling, you know, that's the thing that people really want, because it gets people involved in a story, it gets their mind away from other things. It can be exciting, it can be fun, it can be funny, whatever it is. But such a great story. I mean, that's my point, I guess, but it's going to be done over and over again. So I thought it was kind of interesting to see somebody else do it. And I recently got to see the guy who plays Jafar in London, in the London production. Not that recently, a couple years ago it is now, but I got to see somebody else do it live on stage, because I was doing it on Broadway for a couple of years, for 8 years. So it's very, you know, also it's very informative. I will say that, because like, even if you think to yourself, why are they saying it like that? How come they're doing it like that? It's very informative to hear somebody else's idea about something. And I don't know, it's enjoyable. Yeah. It's educational too, you know, because you did it your way, it doesn't mean necessarily that was the best way, or it's, you know, it's how we did it then. That's what we did.
Yeah.
And we did the best we did. We did the best, you know, we didn't want to make a flop either. We did the best that we could. So
that's right.
That's awesome. Sorry, my dog is barking in the background. He wants to be included. I'm sorry.
Look at that. He got himself in the live broadcast. See what happens live?
Yeah, I am sorry. And we're trying to be professional, and then there's my dog.
Oh my gosh, never apologize to me for a dog barking. That's one of my favorite sounds in the world.
Well, if you want to hear it all the time, please just come over. He just doesn't stop. He's a very chatty Irish Jack Russell Terrier, and he has an upside-down Mickey Mouse on his back.
Oh, yeah. I think I knew that.
Yeah, he looks like Bambi. He has like the little deer ears. He's very cute.
So cute.
But
it was so nice to do this. I'm really happy to see all of your faces. I really am. And thank you for the great questions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem. I think we'll do
Sure.
quick shout outs and then we'll let you guys free back to Agrabah or, well,
Okay.
wherever you guys are. So, Matt, you want to start pulling up some shout outs real quick? We'll start saying bye to everyone and then that way we can
Okay.
wrap it up. But thank you both, seriously, for coming on the
Yes.
show. Thank you to everyone who donated. I think, I don't even know. We were at like
I know.
400 at one point.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
gonna take a little look and I'm gonna
Yeah.
see while we're doing some shout outs.
Yes. I'll take care of
Oh,
shout outs. I can
no.
read names, kind of.
Okay.
But seriously, while we wait for the shouts to come out, thank you guys both so much. Linda, it's always a pleasure to have you on whenever. We're so grateful that you come on whenever we ask. Everyone loves having you here, and we're just so grateful that we get to work with you at all, let alone constantly.
I love
And
being
Jonathan,
here.
we hope you come back whenever you want to.
Thank
We
you.
love having you as well, and we hope you enjoyed yourself as well.
Oh, I did. Thank you. And I'm sorry I let your father down. If I can figure it out.
You know what? I think he has said it enough that he now has it like, even if you said it, he'd be like, that's not how it goes, because I think he thinks the way he says it is exactly how it happens.
He's probably right.
He just
But that's the
replaces
thing, if
his
you-
voice over yours for that one line.
I mean, Matt just said, Matt, I'm looking at my text messages right now, and I should probably have been reading the ones Matt has been sending me, but he says he thinks he can pull up the clip. So,
Oh my God,
Yes.
if he does, that'd be
Matt,
so
if you
funny.
we'll hold on for a second, but we'll
If
shout
Matt
out.
can do it, I want to hear it.
Yeah, come on, Matt. Work your
Also,
magic. He's our genie of the
we
early.
Come on, bring
we
it
are
up.
at $590.
Oh,
raised.
thank you, everyone.
Wow.
That's so wonderful. That's
That's
all for Give Kids the
amazing.
World. It's so wonderful.
Linda, when are we doing that? That's this year, finally.
This year.
Oh, yes, that's right. You guys are
Yeah.
doing an event.
I think it's September or
Yes.
October, something like that.
It's September. I think it's September 30th to October 1st.
I knew you would know.
Yes, it's at it's not at the Contemporary this year. But it is on Disney property. I forget which hotel it is. But you guys will be there. The guy who helped create the Great Movie Ride will be there. Which was my favorite ride at Disney. So I'm like, can I ask you about everything? But yeah, it's another thing. And then I believe also they are selling tickets at Give Kids World. I'm sorry, I'm answering your thing. I just really I'm speaking for Linda. I'm just persistent now. I'm just keeping her schedule. But they actually are doing a fun VIP event at Epcot where they're going to have rare characters out. It's basically like a DVC event, but for anyone who purchases tickets, and all the money goes to Give Kids the World. But Linda and Jonathan will be there.
Yes.
And hopefully Scott.
And hopefully Scott. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
That would be incredible.
He wants to. So if his schedule works out, he'll join
That
us.
would be amazing. He said that it is not working, unfortunately. He is sorry that he cannot get the clip uploaded. But shout out to everyone who is in the chat and everything. I know we saw Michael. My Aunt Kathy was in there. Kelly Twiggy,
Rodney. And Rodney does have, he said, quick answer for his quick final question that does kind of have to do with what you were just talking about for the Great Movie Ride. He wants to know what your favorite Disney ride is, or like what's your must-do Disney ride when you go into the parks if you go.
I feel like I know Linda's answer.
I think I might know it too.
I love Tower of Terror.
Yep. One day, Linda, you and I, we're gonna get Kat on there. It's gonna be the three of us. It's gonna be great.
I'm calling Paige.
I have other favorites. What my classic favorite is Dumbo. I love Dumbo, and I have to go with my youngest family members to justify the Dumbo ride because I feel bad taking, one of the elephants all by myself. So I always try to drag my little friends along, my cousins along. But Dumbo is awesome. I love that ride.
They should just have a Dumbo elephant for you. You are a Disney legend.
Yeah.
I know, but I just feel like, you
Do
can put 3 people in it. So I feel like I at least have to have 2 friends with me.
That's where you buy a giant Stitch stuffed animal, a giant Mickey stuffed animal, and a giant Minnie stuffed animal, and you stick them in the car with you, and no one can judge.
That's great. Amazing.
How about you,
Yeah,
John?
I have so many favorites.
I'll go on it with you.
You will. Okay.
We can all go.
It's a date. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite,
love
Jonathan?
Me? Oh.
Yeah.
I have to be honest. I'm not I don't think I've been on any of the rides.
You never go on the ride?
Never?
One time I've
Oh
been to
my
Disney
gosh.
World because of some function, and I don't think I ever went on any of the rides, honestly.
So in September, we're going to take you on
So what it sounds like is, it sounds like Linda needs to bring you
on
to the
Tower.
parks and
I
bring
mean,
you
I
on
don't
Tower
think
of Terror.
Towers for Jonathan. I think Jonathan and Kat might not want to do
Yay,
Tower.
we can go chicken out together.
All right, Linda, we'll go on
But
Tower. And they
we'll
can
do
go on
it,
Dumbo.
Ava. Yeah, but
I'll go to
what
Dumbo.
do Dumbo with me, because that's really
Mhm.
just a joy. It's just a joy. What are your favorite rides? Tell me, Ava and Kat.
Well, besides the Great Movie Ride that is no longer there,
Right.
I have a sentimental soft spot for two different rides. Well, one's an attraction, I guess. The Enchanted Tiki Room and the Jungle Cruise. I have a very soft spot for in Magic. But for pure chaos reasons, Space Mountain, when there's no lights on it at all, like when they, during
That's
the Halloween
always
party,
fun.
they turn off all the lights and they play like weird alien music, that I'm down.
I do love Space Mountain. I think Everest, the Expedition Everest in Animal Kingdom might be my favorite, but my favorite is I feel like you, Linda, when you talk about how you don't want to take the Dumbo ride from like children. The Aladdin's Magic Carpet ride is one of my favorite rides. Because I like
camel.
to try to turn the carpet as far forward as possible as you're going in a circle, and it's just very fun to me. Probably that one.
That's great.
Yeah, but yeah,
Well,
that
actually, Linda and I participated in probably the greatest live event ride of our lives, which was me and Linda and Gilbert and Scott had to ride camels and elephants live in parade down
Disneyland.
the street. Disney World.
Disney World.
Disney World. Yep. In the rain.
Hold on.
Oh, no.
Oh my god.
In the rain.
Oh, that's nice.
I think I know what we're gonna do for our next early night episode.
Just let you guys tell
camels.
stories.
Okay. Hold on. Coughing fit.
Oh no. All right.
Somebody mute me.
Well,
you're fine. We'll let you guys.
We will do some shout outs. That way we can.
Yeah.
Wrap
we'll let them go. But so we'll let Matt let them go. Thank you guys so much for coming on the show.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. All right. Ava, it's us now.
Oh, I forgot how we do this show.
I know, I forgot too. Well, thank you both, Linda and Jonathan. I don't know if they can still hear us, but thank you for literally staying on 20 minutes longer. Than we meant to. Hopefully Linda does feel better. Thank you, Ronnie, for your well wishes. I'm sure she will be up and okay soon. Drink lots of tea, Linda. Lots of tea, lots of honey. Actually, no, don't do a lot of tea. More water than tea, because tea will dehydrate you and actually make your coughing worse. Yes, shout out to everyone. Shout out to Linda. Shout out to Jonathan. Shout out to you, Michael. Shout out to Claude. Shout out to my Aunt Kathy. I know she was in the chat. Shout out to my mom. I know she was watching. Shout out to Kelly. Shout out to Twiggy. Anyone else? Am I forgetting anyone? Shout out to Wazer. Shout out to Rob. Hi, Rob. Shout out to Nathan. And yep, and Kathy. I think that was everyone. I think we got everyone. And shout out to Matt for helping us. Thank you, Matt.
I do believe that the link for donating is still open like 24 hours after the live ends. So if you didn't donate yet and you still want to, you totally can. And yeah.
But as you guys know, we will be doing something next week. What it is, that's a surprise. Always surprises with us, I guess. But Ava, I don't know about you, but it was a great show. Thank you again to Linda and Jonathan and to everyone who donated. Please continue to support Give Kids the World, and hopefully we can have Linda and Jonathan on the show again sometime very soon. But Ava, I don't know about you, but I think it's time to call it an early night. All right, we'll see you guys. Bye.
How long do